Welcome to CoQuest Podcast.
Yeah.
We're going to be diving deep into tech talks today.
Yeah.
And, getting tech talks, sharing your knowledge on stage, maybe a giant screen, spotlight, all that can seem intimidating, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But it doesn't have to be terrifying.
No.
We've got some insights that might just make you excited about it instead.
Oh, cool.
We've been looking at this blog post about someone who gave a tech talk,
Okay.
and they shared a bunch of tips that honestly are pretty useful no matter how much experience you have.
Yeah, and what I thought was interesting is that the post really highlighted how, giving a tech talk is about more than just like, showing off your knowledge.
Right.
It's about connecting with other people in tech and sharing your own perspective and your experiences.
Yeah. Okay. Let's break that down.
Yeah.
So the post talks about 3 big reasons to give tech talks.
Okay.
Number 1, sharing knowledge. Seems
Oh.
pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
But think about it. You're actually contributing to the collective knowledge base of the entire tech world.
Yeah, you're helping other people overcome challenges that they might be facing. You're inspiring them with new ideas. You're fostering this sense of collaboration.
Right. And it's not just about them.
Yeah,
You benefit too.
for sure.
Second reason is building confidence.
Oh, yeah.
Standing up there, explaining your thoughts clearly, that's like a superpower.
Yeah, it really is like leveling up your communication skills in real time. You learn to structure your thoughts, tailor your message to different audiences, even handle tough questions smoothly.
Yeah, and honestly, those skills are helpful no matter what you're doing, even if you're not on stage.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the third reason is making connections.
Yes.
Think of it like networking, building relationships in the tech world.
Yeah.
You could meet future collaborators, potential employers, or just, find your tribe of like-minded people.
Yeah, one tech talk could start a whole chain reaction of amazing connections.
I love that. But let's get real for a second.
Uh-huh.
We all know their nerves, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, the post actually says that even experienced speakers get pre-presentation jitters.
Oh, yeah.
It's totally normal.
So here's what I thought was interesting. The post says, instead of freaking out, lean into preparation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, practice your talk so much that you're comfortable with the flow,
Hmm.
and you could almost deliver it in your sleep.
Yeah, what's cool is that you can shift your focus from like, everyone's staring at me to I'm bringing something valuable to these people.
I love that.
It's less about you and more about the value that you're adding.
Right. And the post talks a lot about keeping things engaging, using humor, asking the audience questions, using relatable analogies.
It's about finding that balance between being technical and being approachable.
Yeah.
You want to share your expertise, but you want to make sure everyone understands and is enjoying themselves.
Okay. So how do you strike that balance?
We'll think real world scenarios.
Okay.
Instead of just, diving into all the technical jargon, try connecting it to something your audience already understands.
Like what?
Like you could explain blockchain through like a shared Google Doc where everyone can see the changes happening in real time.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
What about visuals?
Yeah, the post is all about keeping slides clean and purposeful. No one wants to read walls of text.
Right.
So use visuals to highlight your points, not to like steal the show.
And don't forget to share the slides afterward, too.
Oh yeah, it's a nice bonus for the audience, and it shows you care about making that knowledge accessible.
Exactly. And to make things even more memorable, the post dives into the importance of storytelling.
Yeah, because let's be real, no one wants a boring textbook lecture. People want a captivating story.
Okay, so how do you actually turn like a bunch of technical points into a story?
So the post breaks it down into 3 parts.
Hmm.
You've got the introduction where you hook the audience.
Okay.
Then you have the development where you get into details, but you keep it interesting.
Uh-huh.
And finally, you have the conclusion where you tie everything together and leave people with something to think about.
So it's like you're building a narrative arc with a beginning, middle, and end.
Exactly.
Makes sense. But what about practice?
Yeah.
How much should you practice? Is it just about memorizing every word?
No, not at all. The post really stresses rehearsing until it feels natural. It's
Okay.
about getting the timing right, hitting the right pace, and building your confidence. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah, but practice can feel awkward, like standing in your living room talking to the wall.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So the post has this kind of unusual suggestion.
Okay, what is it?
Have you ever thought about recording yourself while you practice?
Oh, that's interesting. I haven't, but I can see how that could be helpful. It's like having a personal presentation coach, but it's just you and your webcam.
Right, you can see those little habits you might not even realize you're doing, like saying too much or fidgeting. You can also get a feel for your pace and adjust if you need to.
Okay, I like that. And of course, we can't forget about audience engagement.
Oh, yeah, that's key.
The post mentions asking questions to break the ice and keep people involved.
Yeah, you can use polls, have small group discussions, even a simple raise your hand if can go a long way.
And it turns the whole presentation into more of a conversation.
Exactly. It's not just you talking at them, it's a shared experience. It makes it much more memorable.
It's like the difference between watching a movie and playing a video game.
Oh, I like that.
Passive versus active.
Right? Yeah, exactly. And finally, the post leaves you with this simple but powerful advice: just be yourself.
Okay, I know that sounds cliche, but I get it.
Mhm.
Especially for tech talks, authenticity really matters. People want to connect with a real person.
Right. You don't have to try to be someone you're not.
Yeah.
Just be passionate and share those unique insights that only you can bring.
I love that this has been such a good deep dive so far. We've covered a lot, but there's still more to explore, right?
Absolutely. We're going to get into some more specific tips for crafting a truly effective tech talk.
Okay, can't wait to hear them.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Welcome back. We were just talking about how important it is to be yourself when you give a tech talk.
Right.
So let's dive into some more tips that can really help you level up your presentations.
Okay, I'm ready. Give me the good stuff.
Okay, well, one piece of advice that really stood out to me is about knowing your audience.
Okay.
It sounds simple, but, really taking the time to understand their level of expertise can make a huge difference in how you present the information.
It's like choosing the right programming language.
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't use Python for something that needs to be super fast.
Right.
You'd use something like C++.
Exactly. So if you're talking to a group of experienced developers, you can get into the technical details.
Right.
But if you're talking to an audience that's newer to the topic,
Yeah.
you got to keep it simple.
Right. Explain things clearly, don't overwhelm them.
Right. And the blog post actually had this cool tip start by asking, how many of you have experience with whatever the topic is?
Oh, that's smart.
It's a quick way to gauge the room, and then you can adjust your approach on the fly.
Yeah, it not only helps you tailor your content, but it also shows the audience that you care.
Exactly. You're making it relevant to them.
So speaking of keeping people engaged, pacing is super important, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Have you ever been to a talk where the speaker's just like throwing information at you like a fire hose?
Oh my gosh, yes, all the time.
Like my brain just shuts down after a while.
Right, it's too much.
Too much, too fast.
You need to give people time to digest the information and process it and, maybe come up with their own questions.
It's like serving a multi-course meal.
Oh, I like that.
You wouldn't bring out all the dishes at once.
Right.
Each course has its own time to shine.
Exactly. Pacing is all about creating a balanced and enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
And to keep that energy up, especially after you've gone through a really dense technical part, the post suggests using visual breaks and even a bit of humor.
Oh, humor is key.
Is.
It's like a breath of fresh air in a room full of, serious tech talk.
Totally. It just lightens the mood.
Makes you more relatable as a speaker.
Yeah. A well-placed meme, a funny story, even a self-deprecating joke can make a world of difference.
It reminds everyone that we're all human, even if we're talking about really complex technical stuff.
For sure. So what about questions?
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel about the Q&A part?
I always get nervous about that.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean. So the post suggests thinking about potential questions beforehand.
Oh, okay.
Maybe even jotting down some answers.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That way you're not caught off guard.
Right, and you seem more confident and knowledgeable.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yep.
like having a cheat sheet, but for your brain.
I like it, and it also shows that you've thought about the topic from different angles.
Exactly. And, it's okay if you don't know the answer to every question.
But for sure.
Don't be afraid to say, that's a great question. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll look into it and get back to you.
Yeah, honesty and humility go a long way, especially when we're talking about technical topics.
Right. Or you can even turn the question back to the audience and get their thoughts.
Oh, that's smart.
It's a nice way to spark a discussion and get everyone involved.
Turn it into a collaborative learning experience.
Exactly. And lastly, the post encourages us to learn from others.
Okay.
Watch tech talks online. Analyze what works. See if you can adapt those techniques to your own style.
It's like studying the code of like a master programmer.
Yeah, exactly.
See how they approach a problem and learn from them.
Right. There's no shame in borrowing ideas and making them your own.
It's all part of the learning process.
Yeah, and you'll find your own voice and your own style as you go.
So find inspiration, but stay authentic.
Right. And remember, giving tech talks, it's a journey, not a destination.
Yeah.
It's about continuous learning, growth, and refinement.
I love that.
Yeah, with each presentation, you'll gain experience, you'll hone your skills, and you'll become more confident and engaging.
This has been so insightful. We talked about the why, the how, and even some tips for handling those tricky situations.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like there's still more to come, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In the final part of our deep dive, we're going to tackle the big one,
Okay.
conquering those nerves and actually making the leap from aspiring speaker to confident presenter.
I'm ready. Let's do it. Okay, so welcome back to our deep dive all about tech talks. We've talked about why you should give one and even some tips to make it great.
Right.
But there's this one big thing we haven't really talked about yet.
Oh, what's that?
Nerves.
Yes, the pre-presentation jitters.
How do we deal with those butterflies in your stomach? Is there like a secret trick to just shutting them off?
I wouldn't say shutting them off is the goal.
Okay.
Remember we were talking earlier about reframing those nerves as excitement?
Yeah.
It's all about like harnessing that energy and letting it fuel your presentation.
So instead of being scared, it's more like anticipation.
Yeah, you're excited because you're about to share something you love with a room full of people who are interested.
Okay, I like that. But still, those nerves can be overwhelming, especially if you're new to public speaking.
Yeah, so the blog post suggests starting small, like maybe present at a local meetup or a company event.
Yeah.
It's lower pressure,
Right.
and you can practice and get comfortable without, the intensity of a huge conference.
It's like starting with a small coding project before you tackle a massive software application.
Exactly. You build your skills and your confidence over time.
And remember that tip about recording yourself while you practice?
Oh, yeah.
I'm definitely going to try that.
It's like having a personal presentation coach, but without anyone actually watching you.
You can see what you need to improve on.
You can analyze your pacing, your body language, even catch those little verbal tics that we all have.
Like debugging your presentation, just like you would debug your code.
Exactly. Find those bugs and fix them. And speaking of passion,
Yeah.
the post talks a lot about choosing a topic that you're genuinely excited about.
Oh, for
It
sure.
really shows when you're passionate about something.
Yeah, your energy is different.
And it makes the presentation so much more engaging.
It's like the difference between working on a side project you love and a task you hate.
Right. When you're passionate about something, the energy just flows.
Okay, so choose a topic you love, practice, record yourself, start small, reframe those nerves. Anything else?
One last thing, embrace the learning process.
Yeah.
Even the most experienced speakers make mistakes.
Oh, yeah, of course.
It's all part of the journey.
Like learning to you're going to hit roadblocks and encounter bugs, but each challenge makes you a better coder.
Exactly. And each presentation, even if it doesn't go perfectly, makes you a better speaker.
It's about always learning and never being afraid to try new things.
Yeah.
So it's not about being perfect.
Right.
It's about sharing your knowledge, connecting with other people, and contributing to the world of tech.
Exactly. And remember, you have something unique to offer.
Right.
Your perspective, your experiences, your insights, those are all valuable.
So go out there, find your voice, and share your passion with the world.
Yeah.
I love it. This has been such a great deep dive into the world of Tech Talk.
It happened.
We hope you learned something new, and maybe you even feel inspired to give a talk yourself someday.
I hope so.
Until next time, happy coding and happy presenting.